Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 98 of Crunch Time with the N326 duo. I'm your host, Sam Gotzi, and with me today, as always, is my co-host, Tanner Dyslin. Tanner, how are you doing today, man?
I am doing great, man. We are ever so close to football season, and you can just taste. You're so close, you can taste it. Week 0 is on the horizon. College sports are in the news a lot lately. Something we'll get to later, but I mean, football fever is in the air. We're past the MLB deadline. Just so close, so close.
Yeah, a lot going on.
And the Hall of Fame game, of course.
Of course,
and
the
the
Hall of Fame game. And if you're not watching on YouTube, go check out. We got some Crunch Time merch. Tanner's rocking the hat. I'm rocking the hoodie. We're going to get more. You'll see it. Let us know if you want some. But yeah, action-packed episode. Winners or losers. You know the deal with that. On the Diamond MLB Trade Deadline Edition, we're going to hop into some NFL quarterback tier list. And then we're going to wrap up the episode with questions. Of course, we talk about this and so much more on episode 98 of Crunch Time. Tanner, we'll start as we always do with winners and losers. Tanner, who is your winner?
Yeah, we're going to go on the diamond for my winner, Sam. And I'm going to go with a little lad by the name of Davis Schneider. Now, you may be thinking, who is that? Well, that is the guy who has set the record for the most hits in his first 3 games in the MLB. He made his debut on August 4th, went 2 for 5. Then on August 5th, went 3 for 3. Then August 6th, went 4 for 5.
Not bad.
Totaling 9 hits in his first 3 games. Game 4, we won't talk about it. He did go 0 for 4 in Game 4. But through his first 3 games, he was sitting there at 9 for 13. 9 for 13. That is a hair under 750 batting average. That is not bad at all. You got to be a winner when you're putting up those numbers in your first 3 games in the MLB, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's going crazy right now. For my winner, I'm going to go with the problem child. Jake Paul defeated Nate Diaz via unanimous decision, won 97-92, 98-91, 98-91. It was a fight, I guess.
It was a fight.
Nate Diaz was wilding. I mean, he was trolling Jake Paul.
Dude, it seemed like obviously these aren't boxers or they're not top tier boxers, but it just the whole thing felt trolly, dude. It felt
my God,
the whole thing. But
yeah, man. Jake Paul won. Say what you want, dude. Dude can fight. I don't care if it's just boxing. He did agree to a MMA match with Nate Diaz, which is his specialty. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he can only fight. He can only box. Yeah. What a loser.
Yeah.
What
a loser. Soft.
You kidding me?
Soft.
You're kidding me.
But Tanner, let's move on to the other side of the coin. Who is your loser?
Yes, my loser. We're going to stay on the diamond. It is unfortunate because this should be the talk of the town right now, Sam. My loser is going to be the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
Because their announcer, Kevin Brown, the Orioles were in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And on their TV broadcast, he mentioned something that is 100% factual, that the Baltimore Orioles have trouble playing in Tampa Bay. Over the past few years, Tampa Bay has been quite good. Baltimore has been quite bad. Yeah. It's as simple as that. He reported facts. He said, hey, this is a problem. This place has been a problem for Baltimore. This year, though, they are playing better, and showed the comparison of the records. And it was stark because Baltimore has been much better against Tampa Bay this year. Well, Baltimore management didn't like the fact that their season that has been going so well thus far is being marred by the announcer talking about the struggles of their past. So they suspended him indefinitely for pointing out the fact that this team is the best Orioles team they've had in the last 5 years. And in doing so, they are overcoming their hardships in Tampa Bay, and he got suspended for it. It is absolutely unbelievable and
Yeah.
such a shame because if anyone who's been following baseball knows that the Baltimore Orioles are 100% one of the best feel-good stories of the MLB season this year. Adley Rutschman comes up, a highly touted prospect. Gunnar Henderson comes up, and this team is the talk of the town because they are leading the AL East after the great start the Rays had. They started off like 32-9. 35-9, something like that. And the Orioles have caught up to them. They just added Jack Flaherty at the deadline. This team is getting better. They are doing the right things, but that is all taken away because they're a laughingstock because they suspended their announcer for simply reporting facts, and it just really angers me.
Yeah, that was so weird. Like he just kept it real, and he got canned for it. It's so weird.
And not only is he just reporting facts, it was an objectively good opening. Yeah. You want to talk about how to get excited for a game? Hey, we suck here, but this year we're doing really well.
Yeah.
Makes me want to watch the game.
Yeah, very, very strange. Yeah,
really annoys me.
What a wild story that is. I'm sure more is going to come out of it. But for my loser,
how about wild stories, huh?
Yeah. This is definitely one of them, and we are going to talk about the unfortunate Iowa State gambling scandal. I'll just give you the facts, and you can form your
Hey, be
opinion.
Careful. Facts will get you suspended.
That's true. So, kicking off the gambling probe, we got Hunter Deckers, who is the Iowa State or former Iowa State football player. Starting quarterback, he bet approximately $2,800 for 366 times under an account registered to his mom, and he placed 297 underage, and 26 were on Iowa sporting events, and one was on Iowa State's game against Oklahoma State. He didn't play that, so. That's okay.
Not bad.
Now, so that is like the main guy on the Iowa State side of things. The Iowa side of things is former Iowa basketball player, now Cornhusker of Nebraska, Aaron Eulis. He used the name of his older brother, not Tyler Eulis, but Anton Porter, to create the account. He placed 1,850 bets, 740 of which were before he turned 21, totaling $34,900. And at least one was on an Iowa sporting event. And over 430 were on NCAA football or basketball games. And he participated in fantasy leagues for money.
Oh, you got more?
Oh, yeah.
There's more.
So those are kind of the two headliners, being big sports, big players, right? We got Aaron Bloom, who I personally don't think he should have gotten in trouble. He made a great bet, and it ended up winning. But he was a backup kicker, used DraftKings, registered his mom's name, operated on his phone with her consent and knowledge, made approximately only 170 wagers, totaling over 400, 8 of which were on Iowa sporting events, including an Iowa State rivalry game. He would have been on the bench, but he bet the under, which was like 45, which is damn low for a college football game. And it cashed. I don't think he should get in trouble.
You got to tip it.
But then we got Dodge Saucer of Iowa State.
I'm sorry. Read that name one more time.
Dodge Saucer.
Dodge Saucer.
What a name. 113 bets, 3,000. 12 were placed on Iowa football games or Iowa State football games. So what? Yomi Uwazurki, former Iowa State football player, 801 bets, 21,000. 4 of them under on Iowa State football games, including 2 he played in. But he's in the NBA. But he was also suspended indefinitely for gambling by the NFL in July. So, then we got Garrett Christensen, Iowa baseball player. 559, 2,000 bet, 2,000 wagered. This is the craziest one. Panero Johnson, Iowa State wrestler, 1,283 bets, totaling over $45,640. That's insane.
Wow. I tell you what, Sam, a few things stick out to me. Number one, I mean, have they not watched like any sort of FBI TV show? You got to use someone else than your mom.
Yeah.
Like,
come on.
I'm going to place a bet under someone's name and make it impossible to trace it back to me. I know I'll use my mom.
Yeah.
I know I'll use my brother. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
We're better than this. Although I will say, Saucer what was I can't
Dodge Saucer.
Dodge Saucer. He might have used his real name. He should have used his real name because then everyone would be like, Dodge Saucer. That's not real.
Yeah.
Right? So then no one would know. Well, number two, I can't speak to the wrestler because, I don't know of him, but where is Aaron Eulis getting that kind of rags from?
I know.
I've seen that dude play basketball. It's not from NIL.
Yeah.
It's not from scholarship. Where is he getting the money from? His brother? Maybe.
Tyler?
Maybe that's what it is. One brother counts
One
under
brother.
his name. One brother
Tyler's
finances
funded.
the thing.
Yeah.
No one's going to notice. No one looks into families when they're doing this.
No.
And number three, I honestly think it'd be one thing if it was in like an infestation at Iowa State or an infestation in Iowa, but both? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
It's crazy.
And like you and I and Drake.
Yeah.
Nothing. And you cannot tell me this isn't going on everywhere.
Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely maybe they're smart enough to not use their mom as their
bet on campus. I know Iowa baseball players got caught in the clubhouse.
Right, that was right before the College World Series. Yeah, that was not good. Yeah, I can't do this. I'm gonna do it
on campus.
On campus,
people can access my phone. Yeah,
their campus Wi-Fi can tell what you're doing.
Yeah,
idiots.
I will say, obviously, big no when it comes to NCAA. But how many sports gambling ads do you see during a sport event?
It is crazy. It is crazy. And it begs the question because I totally get that they can't really deal with that at all. Like they just kind of have to have a no tolerance about or zero tolerance about it all. But like, it's just, you can't, in the way the world exists right now, you can't have sports without sports betting. Everywhere, whenever you see a score, it shows you the live odds. Whenever it shows you what time a game starts, it shows you who's favorite. It shows everything like that. It's crazy.
And like ESPN, even like SportsCenter and all the shows like say, oh, who's your underdog for this weekend of games?
The super dogs.
Yeah,
I remember that because they actually switched it. It used to be like, which super dogs, who do you think can win? But sure enough, they switched it to who's going to cover the spread now. Mm-hmm. Although, as dumb as everything has been, I think we got to give the award of the dumbest sports betting behavior to Hunter Deckers, right? The video.
Yeah. Oh yeah, viral video came out of him at a bar betting $500 on like a Texas game. I don't know if it was the Texas Iowa State game, but this girl's recording him, and it's very obviously him, and he, at the end of it, they shake on it, and he's like, oh, don't post this. I'll get in a lot of trouble for this.
They went ahead and posted
Caught in 4K.
Caught in 4K.
But yeah, 4K. That was tough. Yeah, those are two tough winners, or tough losers, excuse me. But let's switch gears. Let's hop on the diamond with Dyslin. Tanner, MLB trade deadline. Honestly, before the season even started, there were talks Shohei's going to get traded. He didn't get traded, but there were also a lot of big names, which I'm sure you'll dive into. But let's just kick it off nice and simple. Winners and losers of the MLB trade deadline.
Yeah, man, there's a lot to get into here. A lot of teams added, a lot of teams sold. But for me, the winners, I'm going to have two winners, and they're in the same division. My winners are going to be the Rangers and the Astros, that AL West race. We've talked about the Rangers before when we've gone on the diamond. It's a surprise team. They've been playing so well all season. They are 1-2. They're 1-2 in the division right now. Rangers currently have a 2.5 game lead over the Astros, which nobody saw coming. But the Rangers add a lot. The Rangers go out and they get Max Scherzer as the headline from the Mets.
Yeah.
Then a few months ago, actually, early before the deadline, but we can lump it into the deadline clump, they get Aroldis Chapman. They ended up getting Aroldis Chapman and some bullpen help with Chris Stratton, Jordan Montgomery, also more pitching, and then Austin Hedges to shore up the catching position with some injuries behind the dish. But I mean, you just love to see when teams recognize, hey, this is our chance.
Yeah.
Let's go do the damn thing. And especially with Texas, a team that, they lost DeGrom early in the year to Tommy John. And their pitching staff has been absolutely brutal. Jacob DeGrom currently, or at the time of the deadline, led the pitchers in FWAR, which stands for wins above replacement, a measure of how many wins a player directly contributes above an average player. FWAR stands for fielding WAR, which for pitchers is basically pitching WAR.
Yeah.
And DeGrom led the team in FWAR, and he made 6 starts.
Tough.
Yeah, so it has been a tough go for Rangers pitchers. That offense absolutely mashes, though, and has been able to overcome some of those complications. But going out and getting Scherzer, getting Montgomery, getting some bullpen help, in terms of how many players they added, one of the top in the league of just how many sheer players, and they shored up a lot of places. So good for Texas going for it. And Houston, they bring back a couple of familiar faces. I think 2 of the better arms acquired in the deadline. Of course, the big fish. They bring back Verlander from the Mets, and then they bring back Kendall Graveman, someone who they traded for at the deadline a few years ago. Another good bullpen arm to shore up that back end. But Houston, honestly, that pitching has been good for most of the year. And, of course, on the day they get those bullpen additions, or Verlander and the bullpen additions, they throw a no-hitter. Framber Valdez throws a no-hitter. So, it looks like Houston is poised to try to make a push and catch the Rangers. But also as a baseball fan, the AL West is a winner because they both added. It was an arms race to get as many arms as possible. Get it? And it should be fun to watch down the stretch.
Yeah, definitely. Those were some big acquisitions. You kind of mentioned one already. One of the big pieces of this team, your New York Mets, Verlander getting shipped out. What other moves did they make for this MLB trade deadline?
Oh man, I've been dreading talking about these New York Mets. They basically tore it down. They tore everything down. But I do think it is a credit to Steve Cohen that he was financially smart his greatest resource is his money. And so he was able to dish out shorter term, higher average annual value, or AAV contracts. So they could trade away a player and not be constrained by long contracts.
Yeah.
Like no one's trading for Max Scherzer if he had 3 more years on his contract. But
how old is he?
Max Scherzer?
Yeah, he's old.
38, 39, something like that. Verlander's
around
right there too.
Yeah.
So I think that was smart by Steve Cohen, but it sucks. It sucks so bad. And yes, haha, like LOL Mets for sure. A complete disaster of a season. And for the most part, some of the fans who honestly are, as one of those fans, is probably the worst in the MLB. They suck. Mets fans are horrible. And I'm glad some of them get to go through it. But
Frank the Tank.
Yeah, right. However, I do think the front office does deserve some credit here. They realized, they assessed their situation, and they very easily could have spent more capital, brought in some more players. Like I liken it to a couple years ago when the Mets did something really stupid and they went and traded for Javier Baez.
Oh,
Javier Baez was a really good
man.
Met, but that team was just bad.
Yeah.
Like it was not a good trade. They ended up giving away Pete Crow Armstrong to the Cubs. He is now like the number 6 prospect in baseball.
Appreciate you.
Just made it up to Iowa, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was an absolute disaster of a trade, and even though he was good, the team just wasn't that good. So they assessed, saw there was little to no hope for this team. So they had pieces that were valuable, and they basically completed a farm system rehaul that a lot of teams would take 2-3 years to do.
Yeah.
Right? They got a lot of good pieces. They traded Verlander. Of course, they got for Verlander, they got Ryan Clifford and Drew Gilbert, who slide into the Mets number 4 and 6 prospects. For Scherzer, they got Luis Angel Acuna, brother of Ronald Acuna.
Yeah.
And they got him for Scherzer, who slides into their number 2 prospect.
It's crazy.
And then they traded some other guys. I think they did really well with David Robertson, a 38-year-old reliever, getting a few guys from Miami. They slide into the Mets number 9, and I believe they're 21 or 22, 9 and 22 prospects. So yeah, they did a lot to bolster this farm system, and I think they should be commended for it. But it sucks.
Yeah,
but it sucks.
Yeah, if anyone knows about their teams kind of entering rebuild mode, I definitely know how that feels. But moving on. There were a lot of surprises and guys you thought were going to get traded didn't really happen. So let's start off with the first one. Who was a player that was moved that kind of surprised you?
Yeah, I kind of have an obscure one for this one because all in all, I think it was a relatively predictable deadline, I guess. It's that there was really the big fish was Shohei. Once he wasn't going to get moved, everything kind of proceeded as planned. Unfortunately, this year there was no Juan Soto. There was no, I guess there was a Max Scherzer, but it wasn't the Max Scherzer trade of 2021 with him and Trey Turner. But for me, a guy that I was shocked got traded was Aaron Savali. He is the best starter right now, best healthy starter for the Cleveland Guardians, a team that at the time of the deadline was only about a game and a half back of the AL Central. As a horrendous division led by the Twins, who are only a few games over 500, and they went and traded their best pitcher, and it kind of shocked everybody. A team that very easily could have gone for it, and they traded him to the Tampa Bay Rays. And yeah, I mean, it just completely shocked me. A team that I thought was certainly going to go in and try and win that division, they ended up selling, which was a peculiar move. So I'm not quite sure how the clubhouse would take that if you're only a few games out of first and they're saying, "Hey, here's our best pitcher. We'll sell him off." Another name, kind of a similar thing. Paul Sewald, a reliever for the Mariners. I guess I could see why the Mariners would sell. They're just not as good as a lot of people thought they were going to be. And then I just mentioned the Astros and Rangers and their arms race. But Paul Sewald of the Mariners, not only was I surprised that he got moved, but I mean, the compensation that he got was just awful. They got a player who was honestly on the block to be tendered next year, where they could just sign him off free agency. So yeah, just overall peculiar stuff around the Mariners. So that's where I'd go there.
Yeah, and then on the other side of things, a player that didn't get moved that you thought for sure was gonna.
For me, this one's easy. This is Dylan Cease of the White Sox. They did make a lot of moves. They sent out some relievers. They sent out Lucas Giolito to the Angels. But Dylan Cease to me seemed like one of their more valuable pieces, which maybe explain why they kept him. But if you're the White Sox, you're an absolute dumpster fire right now. You have no direction. You have nothing really going for you. I feel like if anything is of value, you got to get it out now and get as many prospects as you can back. The price will never be as high as it is at the deadline. Teams are so willing to buy. Yeah. They need to shore it up for the end of the year. And you could always trade him in the offseason, but again, you lose some control if you trade him in the offseason. And the urgency of the deadline really drives prices up. So
Yeah.
for me, if I'm the White Sox, I definitely trade Dylan Cease. So that one kind of shocked me a little bit.
Definitely. So kind of a lot of moves going on in this trade deadline, despite Shohei not being moved. You got any final thoughts on this MLB trade deadline?
Yeah, I do. I do kind of want to talk about the. I do want to talk about the Angels because we talk about this idea of losers, right? And I still think that the true losers of the deadline are teams that are in position and don't go for it. A team like maybe the Yankees or the Red Sox, that two teams that kind of were poised to make a splash and didn't, and just kind of stood pat and seemed like missed opportunity. But I do need to highlight the Angels because they did a lot. They went out and got Lucas Giolito. They brought CJ Cron back from the Rockies. They seem to add a lot, and including Dominic Leone from the Mets, a reliever. So they tried to improve, and immediately after the deadline, they go on a 6-game losing streak. It's tough to give up that capital, get those players, and of course, immediately go on a losing streak. They're now in 4th place in the AL West. Granted, we just talked about how stacked that division is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, wild card, they got to jump a few teams right now, and it's obviously a very inopportune time for a losing streak, and when you're trying to show Shohei that we can win here,
Yeah.
Tough luck.
Yeah.
Tough luck. But you got to give them credit for going out and trying, realizing their window's open. Everything I just said about the Rangers definitely applies here. Can't say they didn't try, but it's not great.
Yeah, definitely. But that will wrap it up for MLB Talk. We hopped on Diamond. Thank you so much, Tanner. Let's flip. It's getting close to football season. We had our first taste of NFL with the Hall of Fame game. We had Zach Wilson going at it with who was it?
Kellen Mond.
Kellen Mond,
Vikings
former
legend.
Viking.
He got yanked. He was awful.
Yeah, he was not good.
But you know who looked good?
Who's that?
Dorian Thompson-Robinson,
Yeah.
the quarterback from UCLA.
Yeah.
He was electric in his time under Chip Kelly.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sean Watson on the hot seat?
No. Well, the other. But
Moving
with
on.
that, we're going to do, as everyone does, I feel like, before NFL season, we're going to throw some tears.
Of course.
Tears with the NFL quarterbacks. We got some tiers. We got the F tier. Self-explanatory.
Yeah.
D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, and of course, Patrick Mahomes
tier. It would be S tier, but it's Patrick Mahomes tier.
I never understood why every tier has an S.
Yeah, S is
it
the
confuses
top.
me. I'm not gonna lie to you, Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea of like having one above A because like A is like,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, there's just,
I get it, but I don't. You know?
Yeah, and why S? Like super, super tier,
super rad.
I don't know. I don't get it.
All right, so let's kick it off. Shout out to Tier Maker for making these super easy. But let's kick it off. NFL quarterbacks, kind of starters, some rookies thrown in there. Josh Allen, where do we want to put this guy?
For me, I think Josh Allen slides right in the A.
Yep. I think, normal, like, when you think of the best 3 quarterbacks, it's Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and
Joe.
So we have Baker Mayfield next. Where are you sliding him at?
For me, this is tough. I'm deciding between 2. Of course, we do reserve the right to shift some throughout as we build out the board here. Baker, I'm deciding between C and D.
Yeah.
I honestly think he's going to be a low end C.
Low end C.
With the possibility of being demoted to D, depending on how we go.
Yep. I like that a lot. Guy we were just talking about, Joe Burr.
Get him in the A.
A tier.
Get him in the A.
Next we have Derek Carr. This one's interesting. Still new team, right?
Yeah, New Orleans.
New Orleans. Where are we sliding him at?
Man. I am a Derek Carr guy. He had a terrible season last year.
Yeah.
I think there's a world in which he slides into low B, but I think
agree. I agree.
You going
C?
low B or the front C?
I think I'm going front
okay,
C.
I agree. I agree. There is a world where he slides into back end B. But I think right now it's front C. So he's going to go in front of Baker. Quick question: Who do you have first, Josh Allen or Joe Burrow in the A?
Oh, you're getting Oh, that's tough.
This is tough. Or do we want to handle intra?
Let's do that at the end.
At the end? Okay.
At the end.
I like that.
All right, next up, my quarterback, Mr. Under 10 interceptions this season, Dak Prescott. Where are we finding him?
This is another tough one.
See, for me, just being Cowboys fan, I'll kick this one off. He's teetering on bottom B. I think he's a lower B. Upper C.
Yeah, I agree in that tier. It's hard comparing him to Derek Carr because Derek Carr, when he's playing well, he's going to be a little above average.
Yeah.
When he's playing poorly, he's going to be a little bit below average.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, when he's playing well, he's going to be great.
Yeah.
When he's playing poorly, he's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
And he has shown that multiple times this year. So I'm fine with B. I'm fine with low end of B right now.
We'll throw him in that B right now. Next up, we have Andy Dalton.
I think he's D for me.
Yeah,
I got to put him in the D. He's shown flashes. I think he will be successful under Kyle Shanahan. I mean, everyone is.
Yeah.
And he's only got Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. So he's got a terrible core with him. But
only if
he's D for me.
Was rocking a Cowboys uni against the Vikings. So. Next up, we got Sam Darnold. This one's interesting for me.
Jeez.
I think he's gotten a crappy draw.
Can I confess?
What?
For some reason on my screen, Sam Darnold, Andy Dalton flipped. So everything I said about Kyle Shanahan, that's Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
So to be fair though, I think they're both D.
Yeah, I agree.
So one's Darnold, one's Dalton. They were both D. I flipped them real quick.
Good.
But I think Darnold will be successful under Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
And all those weapons, yada, yada, yada.
I agree.
Oops.
It's okay.
We're not in midseason form yet. Yeah. We're in preseason form.
Yeah.
It happens.
Next up, this is an interesting one for me. Daniel Jones.
Jeez, I don't. Because he's not bad. Like he's not bad. And especially what's interesting to me is comparing him to the person right after him. If you look at our list right there, like how do you? Because right now I think they're pretty similar.
Really?
You think the second guy is much better?
No.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
I would have lost that bet. Okay.
So what tier are you looking at here? Let's just reveal this next guy. Yep. Justin Fields.
Yes.
Who a couple episodes ago I was a big fan of, and you did not like that. But Daniel Jones and Justin Fields, I agree, very similar.
I mean, frankly, I think they're both better than Baker Mayfield.
I agree.
So I think right in between Derek Carr and Baker Mayfield and C right now is the way to go.
I think I'm putting Daniel Jones above Derek Carr.
Still in C?
Still in C.
Okay, I'll buy it. Let's put them in C.
We'll put them both in C, and then we'll rearrange.
Okay.
Next up, Geno Smith. Guy who's kind of been bounced around the league. Had a stellar season last year. This one's difficult.
This one is also tough. I think right now, I think he might be the leader in C. I think there's a chance he gets bumped up to back B.
Yep.
But the problem is he was just he just kind of fell off at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Beginning of the year, he was awesome, man. He was
Yeah.
great. I mean, he was your fantasy quarterback for a while.
He
He
was.
killing it. But the back end was a little bit rough, and up until last year was very rough in his career.
Mhm.
So that is a tough one.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, Jared Goff.
To me, I think this is pretty easy. For me, I go in front of Dak and B.
I agree. 100%. What he's done, I mean, we saw him kill it in LA.
Went to a Super Bowl.
Excuse me. And is playing phenomenal under Dan Campbell. His connection with St. Brown, I mean, they got St. Brown's becoming a weapon in this league. So I agree. B tier. Next up, Taylor Heineke.
To be honest with you, he's D for me.
Yeah.
And I love Taylor Heineke, right? He's awesome, gritty.
Yeah.
All the common white people words. He's gritty. He's smart. Yada yada yada. If it weren't for his mentality, I think honestly his football ability is F. Yeah. But he gets put up to D.
He gets grit.
He gets put up to D because he's got grit. He's super fun to watch, and I mean, let's call it what it was. He won games. He won games with a bad Washington team. So
yeah. Next, we have Justin Herbert of the Chargers. Where are you looking at here?
I can buy back end A. I can buy front B. I think he's better than Jared Goff.
I do too.
I think he's worse than.
I think
Josh
he's worse. Let's throw him in A.
Throw him in A.
Throw him in A.
Because there are some names that I'm looking at the back end here that I have above him. But we'll cross that bridge later.
Next up we have. Oh, lost it. We have Sam Howell. This one's interesting.
This one is interesting.
I think I'm going D here.
Haven't seen enough.
But we know how his team was. I think he'll take a step, maybe. I don't really know. But I think D's a good spot for him. Next up, Jalen Hurts.
Now, this is a guy I have above Justin Herbert.
I agree.
In between Herbert and Allen. Above Allen?
I have Allen Burr.
God, okay, I revealed my cards. But in front of Herbert.
We'll throw him in A.
Yes, we'll throw him in A.
Next up, Jimmy G.
Another tough one.
Honestly, kind of forgot about this guy.
Yeah, I think he's right on there with Derek Carr, maybe a little bit worse, a little bit better. Like I could buy either.
I think I'm throwing him at C.
He's certainly in C for me.
Yeah. Okay, next up, your guy, Kirko Mother effing Chains.
Gotta do the dance. I think this one's pretty easy. I think throw him right in B.
Yep. Kyler Murray.
I also think I'm throwing Kyler Murray in B.
I agree. I think he belongs in that tier. I think he's better than all the guys in C that we have right now, but not Justin Herbert level, personally.
Agreed.
It's weird this guy's in the quarterback list, but Lamar Jackson.
This one's really tough for me because I don't know if I want to throw 5 quarterbacks in A.
Yeah.
And if so, does Herbert get the boot or does Jackson get the boot?
Yeah, I don't know. This one is interesting.
This one is interesting. I just think right now the tiebreaker, because I think they're very similar, the tiebreaker for me right now has to be who I want to start my franchise with.
Yep.
And even taking age out of it, I want the healthy. I want the health. Best ability is availability. So I think for me, I'm going to keep Herbert in A and put Lamar at the front of.
Yep. I totally agree. Next up, a first-year starter, Jordan Love.
Jeez.
I personally think I'm looking at D here.
Top D.
Top D.
I can see it.
Does it?
It's tough. The only time I've seen him play, he played one game against the Chiefs like 2 years ago. That was when the Chiefs lost like 4 straight that one time, and we're all just like, like, are the
No.
Chiefs?
Yeah.
Are the Chiefs done?
Mm-hmm.
And then he played against the Eagles when they were down like 2 or 3 touchdowns and like looked pretty good, but it was a blowout of a game. I think I'm gonna buy front D.
Yep.
Just like give me the choice right now.
Of the guys in our tier D, I think I might take Jordan Love over most of them.
Yeah, I think I
can be
am
debated.
Too. I certainly am too. I'm looking at the one above. I think giving me a chance to win a game tomorrow, Jordan Love or Baker Mayfield, that's an interesting conversation. Yeah. I think we'll stick the way we have it now, but things could change.
Yeah. Next up, Mac Jones.
It's such a difficult one too. What do you think?
Dude. Is it wrong I'm looking at F here? Dude, I think he is not.
Yeah, he's just not.
I mean, Bailey Zappi outplayed him.
Yeah, he did. He did. I think I would push for D over F.
I agree.
The dude's won games. He's made the playoffs.
That's true.
So I think I'd push for D here, but that's a tough one.
I like D. Pat Mahomes.
We know that.
Nah, A tier.
F. F.
Next.
F for family.
Houston Texans great Davis Mills. Where are you putting him?
I'm thinking D here as well.
Yep.
Yeah, not much to elaborate on that.
Next we have Justin Herbert's long lost brother Desmond Ridder. Who you got here? Or Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
that's Kenny Pickett.
That's Kenny Pickett.
My apologies.
Man. I'm thinking. I think there's a chance we put him in the back end of C.
I agree.
Is that where you'd put him?
That's where I think
I'd put him there too. I mean, the dude's he's the unquestioned starter. A team that had that he's played some good football. He's got some development to go.
Yeah.
But
next we have Brock Purdy.
Jeez. I think I'm putting him in front of Kenny Pickett.
Wow.
Did you have him in D?
F. I had him in F.
Oh!
Dude.
Oh,
is that crazy?
What?
I don't think that. I think
it's real in I would say in our defense, it is really difficult to rate a rookie quarterback who has every single weapon you could possibly imagine and who has probably the best head coach, if not the best, easily top 3 or 5 in the NFL. Dude won a lot of football games.
Yeah.
And then, like, when he went down, granted, he himself was the third string, but when he went down, so did their season. This one's really hard.
Yeah.
Because I think I could be talked. I could be talked. I don't know if I could be talked into F, but it's like one of those things where I think he could be D. I think it could be C.
Yeah. I
certainly don't think he's worse than Sam Howell.
Yeah. I think let's slot him in at low C right now, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll go from there. I think he can definitely get moved down.
All right. Next up, Anthony Richardson.
Doesn't get any easier.
Yeah. I think we throw him at D.
Okay. Yeah. I'm on board with that.
Unproven.
I'm on board with that.
Next, Desmond Ritter.
I think he's got to follow suit in D.
Yep.
He-
Why D quarterbacks?
yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, that's just gonna be.
Well, I have unproven guys for starters
Mhm.
this year, honestly. Next, your favorite quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I think he's got to be A.
I
think
agree.
he's got to be A. I think I'm gonna put him. I think I'm gonna put him in between Herbert. I guess we'll worry about
We'll
that.
attack that later. Next, Russell Wilson.
To me, he's C. He's C. He was brutal last year. He did happen to have probably the worst head coach to ever do it. I think he will be better. I think he was really bad last year, but I think also he's very fun to hate on. So
Yeah,
like that may have
I like C.
exaggerated things a little bit, but I think right now C's a good spot for
I
him.
like C. Next, Matthew Stafford.
I think Stafford for me is B.
I agree.
Dude can still sling the football.
Next, rookie for Houston Texans, CJ Stroud.
I mean, I love CJ Stroud. We talk about how he thought it was the best quarterback. We thought it was the best quarterback in the class. Dude was awesome at Ohio State.
Yeah.
So fun to watch. Does that justify a C? Does that justify over like Jordan Love? I think in week one, obviously assuming an equal opponent, I think Jordan Love will be better than CJ Stroud. So this is where it gets tough.
Yeah. This one's interesting.
This one is really tough, man. And I see we got Bryce Young on here too.
Yeah. It's hard with these rookies, man.
It's so hard. Do we just say? I feel like we have to keep it consistent with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
D. I feel like they got to go D.
D. Bryce Young, throw him in there too.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think I would maybe look at a potential Jordan Love upgrade to back end of C.
Yeah. Next up, Ryan Tannehill.
I mean, I think he's that Derek Carr, Jimmy G, just like average quarterback in C.
Just super average.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Trevor Lawrence.
T-Law for me is B.
I agree.
I'm going to put him in B here.
100%.
Dude's a baller.
Next, Trey Lance.
This dude has played like how many games of actual football? Like one and a quarter,
1.5, maybe.
And the one he played was an absolute monsoon.
Yeah.
Boy, this is tough. This is tough. What are your thoughts?
I'm looking at D.
Yeah, just put him in with the kind of the unproven category.
Yeah. Next, Tua.
I think Tua for me slides nicely into that C.
I agree.
Kind of high end C near Geno.
Yeah.
I
agree. Deshaun Watson's up next.
He was brutal last year.
Yeah.
He was brutal last year. However, I do think right now he's probably a better quarterback than Jordan Love. Agree or disagree?
I'd agree.
So maybe all the way at the back end of C?
Back end of C, huh?
Do you think in mid C?
I'm thinking mid C.
Okay. Mid. All right, we'll just put him in C for now.
Yep. And then last one, Carson Wentz.
Perfect one for last. Freaking F.
Yeah.
This dude sucks.
Is bad.
This dude sucks.
All right. So that completes our tier for now.
Completes our tiers, yeah.
All right. So Where do you want to start? Do you want to start A, work our way down?
I say we start A and we start.
Okay.
Now,
So,
I have mine in the order I think I would put them.
okay.
Should I share? My order for A is Burrow, Allen, Hurts, Rodgers, Herbert.
Who? Who was that last one?
Herbert. Do you have him in B?
No, I just misheard you.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go. I agree. Burrow, Allen. I think I'm gonna go. Rodgers
Rodgers.
or Hurts. Rodgers, Herbert.
Same page.
Same page.
Beautiful.
All right. B. We have Lamar, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Kirko, Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, and Trevor Lawrence. Who you got here?
So my order is, Here we go. So in B, I've got B1 is Lamar for me. B2, T-Law. B3, Stafford. B4, Goff. B5, Kirk. B6, Prescott. B7, Kyler. That's my order.
Okay.
What do you think?
We have a little bit of difference here.
Okay.
B1, I got Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
I think he's
That's
he's right on the brink of
Not
A
offended.
for me.
Not offended by that.
B2, Lamar.
Okay. Yep. We flipped them.
B3, I have Matthew Stafford.
Mhm.
B4, I have Jared Goff.
Same.
B5, I have Kirko.
Same.
And then I have Dak. And then Kyler.
All right. So all we did was switch the first
Switch
two.
first two, which I think anybody can make an argument for.
Yeah, this is really tough. Honestly, I think you might have convinced me. Let's put T-Law at B1.
Love it.
Dude's a beast.
All right, this
where it
one.
gets
This
effing
one's
hard.
yeah. We have Tua, Geno, Derek Carr, Baker, Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, Jimmy G, Kenny Pickett, Brock Purdy, Russell Wilson, Ryan Tannehill, and Deshaun Watson.
Who do you think's the best of this group? I think I know.
I think I know.
I think I'm putting Tua at C1.
Agreed.
Let's go. All right. C2.
C2. This is where it gets a little dicey.
I think I could be talked into Derek Carr at C2.
Really?
Who do you think?
Golly. I'm looking at a couple guys here. I think Derek Carr, Russell Wilson. I know he struggled a lot last year. Deshaun Watson as well. I'm not offended. Let's start Derek Carr.
Okay.
And then next up.
God, this is so hard.
It's hard tearing off of just 1 year.
Yeah.
Like Russell Wilson was at one point one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You know? Same with Deshaun Watson.
And especially when we know that there was a part of his team that was literally one of the worst in NFL history. So I think I'm good for a Russell Wilson C3.
I am too. I think I'm going to go with Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes. I think for me, I Danny Dimes and Geno, I think, are the two I'm looking at.
Yep.
Geno was so good at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Fell off a cliff. And that consistency is something I'm going to need for a little bit longer, obviously, especially being a career backup and now a starter.
Yeah.
So, Danny Dimes has been a starter for longer. He's not the best quarterback in the world, but
yeah,
he's not bad by any means. I can buy Danny Dimes at C4.
And then C5 Geno.
C5 Geno.
Yep, I'm on the same page. I think after Geno, I'm going to slide Deshaun.
It's hard with him, and I think it's similar to like a. Remember we were comparing Dak and Derek Carr?
Yeah.
Where Deshaun's so dynamic that when he's good, he's really good.
Yeah.
But when he's bad, he does some Carson Wentz level
Mhm.
stuff, throwing lefty,
Yeah.
whatever the hell. And then someone like Jimmy G, who's just like this all the time.
Yeah.
He is just like this.
So is he after? Is Jimmy G after? For you?
I think he might be, man. I think
Wow.
I think the narrative is so weird because like he won a lot of games, so people thought he was good, and then people are like, no way, Jimmy G's actually bad, and like he was. I do think at one point he was overrated. Now I think he might be falling into like overhated, not necessarily overrated, but overhated. I got to win a football game tomorrow. Like you give me him or Justin Fields, I think I'm going to take Jimmy G.
See, I'm the opposite.
You're
I'm
taking
gonna
Justin Fields.
But I like where your head's at. I think those two are behind Deshaun for sure.
Then I think Fields up next. Then honestly, give me some Tannehill.
Really?
Yeah. Thinking Pickett.
I gotta show love to my guy Baker.
Baker, man. Oh.
I got to.
Ooh.
I got to.
Ooh. Baker's tough. I will say it is a fact that he was benched for someone on this who we have in the D tier last year with the Panthers.
It's all right.
It
just means shitty coaching. That's all that means.
There you go. They did fire their coach. So.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that
he got left in this. If you're throwing Tannehill after Jimmy G, what order you got? Let's just run through those.
So from Jimmy G, I had Jimmy G, Fields.
Yep.
Then Tannehill, Baker, Pickett,
Purd. I'm very similar. I got after Jimmy G, I have Baker, Kenny Pickett, Tannehill.
Let's go. Baker can make a play with his legs.
Yeah. And then I have Purdy at bottom of C. D is where this gets
damn near impossible.
We got Jordan Love, Darnold, Dalton, Heineke, Howell, Mac Jones, Davis Mills, Anthony Richardson, Desmond Ritter, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Trey Lance.
I think for me the D1 is Jordan Love. Like
I could get on board with that. We haven't
seen a lot, but from what we have seen, it's been pretty good. And you got to think just with another offseason in the system, working with the floor, getting first team reps, he's going to be.
Yeah, I like that.
D2 for me, looking at this, is I believe that this guy can start. He can start an NFL game, and he has a decently good chance of winning it. Give me Andy Dalton at D2.
Wow. I was not expecting that. We're on the same wavelength.
I like it. Look at us.
I agree.
Look at us. He's just been a great backup for a lot of teams. Great backup
for a lot of teams.
Comes in, plugs right in, and wins games. For me, again, I think I just got to value what I've seen, and they're going to be ahead of rookies for me. So for 3, I've got Darnold here. Who do you have?
This one's interesting.
He's so difficult, especially when you got rookies and someone like Desmond Ritter and Sam Howell. Like you just haven't.
I think I'm gonna go after my previous analysis of this guy. I'm gonna have him at D3. I'm gonna go with Mac Jones here.
Okay, I can get on board with that
because he's proven he can.
I thought about that. He's made the playoffs. Like
in playoffs.
D4, Darnold. Heineke.
Dude, I really want to put CJ Stroud right here. I ain't gonna lie. I really don't see Darnold.
He went on a winning streak last year with Carolina.
I think he's one of those guys that has just been put in a really crappy situation in his career.
Yeah, everywhere he went. Adam Gase led Jets.
Yeah. I'm on board with
Okay.
Darnold.
Stroud next.
Let's ride. CJ
Screw it.
Stroud.
Stroud.
Even so, my thing with CJ Stroud, with the rest of these guys in the group, despite seeing these guys on the field, I think I'm going to take a risk.
You're going to take the upside
With a rookie quarterback. So I got CJ Stroud at D5. D6.
I think there are two guys we can put next because I do think we need to show a little bit of love to Taylor Heineke. He did win a decent amount of football games with Washington. He beat the Eagles last year.
Yeah.
That's worth something. But I also think we can just go Bryce Young here and again,
yeah,
just buy the upside.
I think we go Bryce Young here, then Heineke, personally.
I like it.
And then this
we keep going with the train, go Anthony Richardson, buy the hype. Or you're not about it.
I'm not about Anthony Rich. I think I'm going to throw Desmond Ridder in here.
Okay. I can also...
Because he played well despite being on an absolute dog water.
I can buy Desmond Ridder. And then I also do want to show love to Davis Mills. He didn't play particularly well, but I don't think there's... Well, okay. There probably is a worse situation, but, I mean, his team was terrible. His coaching staff immediately got fired.
Yeah.
So
shout out Lovie Smith, baby.
Shout out Lovie Smith. If you're the Bears,
I think
working for the Bears forever.
Yeah.
After Ridder, go Mills.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can buy Trey Lance here.
Really?
I don't know it.
Really?
I don't know. He's looked bad.
Dude, I might demote him.
To F?
I think so.
Just from
Is that crazy?
I don't know.
Because, so my thing with Trey Lance is, he's faced injuries. That sucks. But being the third overall pick and seeing how his NFL career has panned out, and when he has been on the field, he has looked atrocious.
Yeah. It's just it is so hard because you can see the upside. He just hasn't been able to play. The health injuries. The 49ers always having 5 quarterbacks on a roster for some reason. But did you see the practice throw where he skied it over?
Yeah.
But it's like you gotta win a football game tomorrow. And you gotta pick someone to start. Are you picking Trey Lance or Sam Howell?
I think I'm taking Howell. I think I'm taking Howell.
No.
I think I'm taking Howell, man.
Ah, wow.
Look at the weapons.
Well, assuming they're all equal. Based on quarterback.
To be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Howell.
Me neither.
I think I'm going to keep Howell.
Screw it. I like it. Die on it. All right. I personally, I don't think we should put Lance in F, so we can put him at the end of D. Compromise?
In front of Richardson.
Dude, he's not about it.
I'm not about Richardson at all.
Own your take. I love it.
I'd rather have a guy at F than... But, yeah. Okay. So, let's run through it.
Let's do it.
All right. Patrick Mahomes level.
Patrick Mahomes.
And
Kirk Cousins.
Nah, you wish.
Correct. I do wish.
And Marcus Mariota in that here. Then we have Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, and Justin Herbert. B, we have T-Law, Lamar, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, Kirk O'Chains, Dak, Mr. Interception. Then we got Kyler Murray. Then we have in Tier C, Tua, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Danny Dimes, Geno, Deshaun, Justin Fields, Jimmy G, Baker, Pickett, Tannehill, Purdy, Then we have in D, Jordan Love, Andy Dalton, Mac Jones, Darnold, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Heineke, Ritter, Davis Mills, Sam Howell, Trey Lance, and Anthony Richardson. And then we have in the F cat, Carson
Wentz. Absolutely brutal. I tell you what, I like our list.
Yeah.
I like our list. I love it. Owner takes. We'll come back to that Anthony Richardson. It's great. And yeah, I like the way we sit. For sure.
I do too, man.
However, I do have some breaking news. Breaking news. The NFL has just released their top 10 players.
Okay.
In the entire league. Number 10, Chris Jones.
Okay.
Defensive end for the Chiefs. Number 9, Micah Parsons.
Go.
Number 8, Josh Allen, A-tier quarterback.
Okay.
Number 7, Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Number 6, Joe Burr, A-tier quarterback.
Okay.
Number 5, Travis Kelce.
Okay.
Number 4, Nick Bosa.
Okay.
Number 3, Jalen Hurts. A little bit of an overreaction. I don't know
about that one.
Number 2, Justin Jefferson. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No love for offensive linemen.
No love for offensive linemen.
Hate to see it.
Trent Williams.
Interesting.
Zach Martin left out. But yeah.
That's interesting.
That is the NFL's top 10 player list live on the pod.
Golly. All right. Wrapping up the episode. Questions. We got a lot of questions, man.
Thank you, guys. We love when we get some questions.
So first question comes from Ryan Kearney, Roadie on the Horn podcast. Check him out if you haven't. He wants to know, who had the better punch, Runed Odor on Jose Batista or Jose Ramirez on Tim Anderson?
This last fight was great. It was absolutely awesome. Very rarely do you get where both just straight up square up, hands up,
drop gloves, almost hockey style,
straight out of freaking Rock'em Sock'em.
Mm-hmm.
But the Odor punch will always be the go. The way the glasses flew off, and even just the camera angle, how it was a normal ground ball, and they pan to the first baseman, and the announcers are just having a normal conversation, talking about the game, and then the first baseman, you can see him sprint over, and then the announcers start yelling. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
This one was pretty good too. Did you hear the radio call? The White Sox radio call?
Check it out.
Or I can't remember if it was the Guardians
they
or the White Sox
turned
radio
into.
call.
I know they turned into like a boxing match.
Yeah. The down goes Frazier.
Yeah.
Down goes
that's
Anderson. Down goes Anderson. Yeah, so that's pretty electric. However, just this one I do like how we got immediately just put to bed, sleep, night.
That's electric.
But just the visual of the sunglasses flying off, too good. Odor on Batista will forever be the GOAT.
I agree. Next question is kind of a double question here. Kerry Guy and Dana Riley want to know kind of what our takes are on the NCAA conference realignment. A lot of craziness going on. Golly. So, just to break it down for y'all, because there's been a lot of moving parts within the past 3 days. So, it kind of kicked off with SEC being Oklahoma and Texas, right? Then Big Ten is getting some Pac-12. Oregon and USC announced. And then
USC and UCLA first.
You're right. And then Oregon, Washington this week?
Yeah, this
week.
Or I guess technically last week because we're recording on Monday, but.
And then Pac-12's leaving. Arizona State.
Both the Big 12.
Colorado.
Big 12.
Oregon.
Big 10.
USC.
Big 10.
UCLA.
Big 10.
Utah.
Big 12.
Washington.
Big 10.
And there could be Cal And Stanford,
Going to the
ACC, of
AC.
course.
Nothing says Atlantic Coast like Cal and Stanford.
Yeah, right. So Pac-12 is basically done. Who do Oregon State and Wazoo
Oh yeah.
with Cal and Stanford. And then we went over Big 12, but they also got BYU, Cincy, Houston, and UCF. So those are kind of those. There's been more, but that's kind of the big ones in this offseason. So Tara, I just need your thoughts on this.
I mean, simply put, this sucks. It sucks. It just sucks. The part of the reason, one of the things that like it was so great about college football is that it was like an entire season inside of like a professional division.
Mm-hmm.
It's border battles.
Yeah.
It's three schools in Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska that are all right next to each other, that are all with corn everywhere, fighting it on the gridiron.
Yeah.
That's what college sports is. No one cares. Like the USC Northwestern, who the hell cares? Oregon versus Indiana, who the hell cares? It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. But of course, with it, you also get Oregon, Ohio State.
Yeah.
You get Oregon, Michigan. You get Arizona, Kansas in basketball.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, it's not all negative, but overall, it just sucks. And I feel really bad. Obviously, the Pac-12 schools that hadn't made a move yet, namely Washington State and Oregon State.
That's the only two.
Those are the only two. Maybe they go to the Mountain West.
That's what everyone's saying.
I don't know what you do there. Bringing Gonzaga. Is Gonzaga finally going to join the Pac-12? But
Big 12.
Gonzaga to the Big 12.
Yeah, it's been rumored.
Yeah, well, get in the basketball conference.
Yeah,
but yeah, just like I said, this sucks, and not only that, but anybody who plays not a major sport, like if
how are they?
If you're a volleyball player for USC and you got to go play Rutgers on a Tuesday afternoon, that's brutal, man.
Yeah,
like I get it. For football, you have the resources, you have the
exactly.
In basketball, you have all that stuff. But for volleyball, for soccer,
softball,
for softball, like, oh my gosh, that sucks.
Yeah. I think that was kind of my takeaway. How the hell are the two sports that this really doesn't impact a whole lot? Football and basketball. It really doesn't affect them that much, man. But when you look at the non-revenue generating sports, like you said, soccer, women's basketball, in most circumstances, you got soccer, softball. How are they going to afford it? I mean, their travel budget has to triple.
They're going to afford it by taking the more lucrative TV deal.
That's another thing I wanted to touch on. This is all about TV deals. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but Apple TV was the Pac-12 and is like $20 million, which sounds like an option. But as a main option, a lot of people don't have that. Not great. But there's, like every situation, there's pros and cons to everything. I'm excited to see Oregon travel to the Horseshoe in November.
Right. And like, again, simply put, it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. But what we're not going to do is sit here and pretend like this ruins college sports, because it doesn't.
I hate that take. It doesn't.
College sports will be just as electric.
Yeah.
College sports is awesome. Like some of the matchups we talked about, the Oregon Ohio State, the Oregon Michigan, that like actually has ramifications now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a non-conference game before, where like, yeah, it's fun to watch, but if you lose, it doesn't count against you.
Yeah.
It doesn't count against you in your conference record, right? Now it's going to mean something, and that's fun. And Arizona, Kansas, like that's fun. Like that's awesome. But it also sucks.
Yeah.
So what
It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. It just sucks, and I completely understand. Like, I don't want this to happen, but like I said, what we're not going to do is pretend like this is just ruining sports. Ruining college sports, because it absolutely is not.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks seeing Pac-12 go. It is the Conference of Champions.
Yeah, I mean, have we checked
Pac-12
on our boy
Bill Walton?
Bill Walton.
He still has the Beavers, so
get a rebound for the Beavers.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm gonna miss the train wreck of Dave Pasch and Bill Walton at 11 p.m. on a spring day.
Will they continue to do that? But instead of Washington State, it's going to be
if
Oregon, Iowa.
If I get Iowa and Oregon and
Dave Pasch,
freaking Dave Pasch and Bill Walton are calling the game, it's my dream.
Dream? Okay. I was going to say, that can go one of two ways.
Add Dick Vitale in there. It's the greatest trio.
Yeah.
Dave Pasch doesn't get paid enough. That's all I'm saying.
And he does multiple sports too.
Yeah. Yeah. Goated. But yeah, it sucks. It'll be interesting. I think Notre Dame is making it out like a bandit right now. I mean, no conference affiliation. Will we see them join a conference? I don't know why you would.
Will someone join Notre Dame?
Will someone join? Yeah.
Being independent.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. There was even talks of teams starting to leave the ACC. I saw Florida State and Clemson were talking to Big Ten.
Bruh.
Like,
here, I have an idea. Hear me out.
Let's hear it.
The Big Ten is now the Big 18.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what you do. You divide it into two
divisions.
Divisions, that's the word. Two divisions. A West. They're West, they're near the Pacific. So we'll call it the Pacific Division. And we'll go the other way. The East. Eastern Division. So Pacific and Eastern. So Pacific 9 and Eastern 9. And that's how you do it. You do those two divisions. And the winners of those two will face off in a championship game.
Yeah.
Like call it the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
So winner of the Pacific Conference versus the winner of the Midwest / Eastern Conference play in the Rose Bowl. I think that's the way to do it.
Yep. Dude, I think you're on to something.
I think I'm on to something here.
I think you're on to something, Tanner.
Gotta love conference.
Dude, I kind of hope Iowa doesn't play at the Rose Bowl anytime soon, though. Because last time we were there,
anytime will be too soon.
But so that's kind of our thoughts. It sucks, but there are good aspects to it, man. I mean, another last take I have on this. Obviously, with the TV deals, the schools are making a lot of money. It is nice seeing NIL be in place right now, where the athletes can make, obviously not from the TV deal, but from the TV deal, because that's how they get exposed. So that's my good takeaway, I guess. Plus Oregon versus Iowa in November.
And that's a good point. Like, imagine just like Bronny James. Bronny James isn't strapped for cash, but Bronny James like playing behind a paywall on Apple TV. Like, come on.
Bronny James to Carver next year? Or this year?
Well, they're not in the Big Ten this year, and he's certainly a one and done.
No. But that's kind of our takes on the NCAA conference realignment. A lot of craziness. I think more teams are going to move. I think it's bound to happen.
This is not the last you've heard of conference.
Griffin wants to know, what are our thoughts on the U.S. Women's World Cup performance?
It's not good, Bob.
Not good at all.
It's not good. I just never thought I'd see. I mean, for as long as I can remember, USA's just been
so dominant,
tiers above the rest of the world. So this is a little strange. Off the field stuff, there's a whole can of worms you can open on that. The only thing I think there is a little bit of merit to a sense of complacency of, was it 3 straight? World
Yeah,
Cups,
I
two or
believe
three
so.
straight, 2 or 3 straight
In
World
dominating
Cups,
fashion.
dominating fashion. I honestly think there was a bunch of them that thought they could just show up and win.
Yeah,
And well, that's
didn't happen.
not how it works.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. They went scoreless for the last
I want to say 2. I know 2
certainly 2.
because they went into PKs against Sweden.
2, if
And
not
then-
3 games. They went scoreless. Honestly, was a good chance they got knocked out in groups if that Portugal goal didn't hit Portugal shot didn't hit the post.
Honestly.
So, I mean, it's bad. It was just bad. I think it looked like there was a sense of complacency, but no better wake-up call than getting knocked out in the round of 32. So,
yeah, it kind of reminds
round of
me.
16.
It seems like the rest of the world is catching up. I mean, you can honestly kind of relate it to FIBA World Cup. I mean, USA was so dominant for so long, and the whole world's catching up. We've seen Spain, Argentina, Slovenia now with Luka.
Those Eastern Europeans.
Yeah. So I think, just kind of got complacent. Didn't play well. I mean, of course, you and me, big footy guys, know all about schemes. But supposedly the coaching wasn't very good. But yeah, complacency, I think, definitely played a factor in this one. Next question comes from Carol Gotti. My mom also designed the merch, so shout out, Carol. She wants to know, what is the worst sport to watch on TV?
There's a lot of ways I can go with this because I have a few takes that some people don't like. But I'm going to go with something you're probably not going to like this. And we actually talked about it earlier on the show. It's going to be boxing / MMA for me. I've tried. I just don't get it. I don't care to watch people beat the crap out of each other with the sole purpose of beating the crap out of each other. Plus, they're always super, super late at night. And obviously you can get like an illegal stream or you can go find it streamed on like TikTok or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's behind a paywall. You got to pay per view. And then granted, I think the last few I've watched have like the last few marquee fights, I feel like haven't been the best.
Yeah.
The best fighters. So like in the late rounds, you get people who are tired and they're just kind of like hanging on each other the whole time. I'm sorry. I just don't get the combat sport. So that's it for me.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to like my answer either. You know where I'm going with this.
Know where you're going.
Major League Baseball. It's just, I will say, it has gotten better since they introduced a pitch clock. I will give MLB credit, but compared to watching it on TV, like most sports, they're similar, right? I think going to a baseball game is so fun. I love it. But watching it on TV just doesn't give me the same hype. But I know you disagree on that one. But Tanner, last question of the episode. Last thing we'll talk about. The Iowa State Fair is coming up. I want to say it's this weekend. And Dana Riley wants to know, what is your favorite state fair food?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I'm qualified to talk on this topic. I've only been to one state fair in my life, and it was last year, the Iowa State Fair. So I only have one year to go off of. But my favorite food I ate, there were a few good ones. I had a fried chicken sandwich on a Krispy Kreme donut.
Delish.
A little too sweet for my liking. There's some maple syrup on it too.
Oh.
A little too sweet.
Yeah.
A little too sweet. I had a bacon ball. It was just a ball of bacon on a stick.
That sounds horrible. Come on.
It was quite good. And I think that's what gives that one the edge. Is obviously unique. You can't get that anywhere else. A bacon ball was great. These mini, they had these mini cinnamon rolls that were obviously awesome because they're mini cinnamon rolls. But that's not unique to the State Fair.
Yeah.
When I think State Fair, I think deep fried on a stick.
Yeah.
That was the bacon ball. So
Yeah.
give me
that sounds
bacon ball.
delish. Yeah, that's good. I've been to a couple state fairs, Arkansas, Iowa. I've had fried Oreos. Those are delish. Fried Snickers bar, also delish.
Fried butter?
No fried butter.
Oh.
Believe it or not. That's so wild to me.
Healthy.
Delish. Dude, I don't know what's good with State Fair lemonade, but that is incredible.
Yeah. You know when they get like the big thing that looks like it should be on like a workbench?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, you know it's gas.
Bus.
But there's this specific stand at the Iowa State Fair that I'm looking forward to having again.
Is that the cup that's in there?
The cup.
Lemonade cup?
We do have some lemonade cup.
Is that from that?
It is from the lemonade stand.
I got it.
But this one is Applicious.
Oh.
They have all Apple products. Shocking. You couldn't have guessed that from the name. But they have a apple pie egg roll. Oh my God.
That sounds delicious.
No, it's terrible actually. No, it is so good. I mean,
and we got some cinnamon sugar on the rim.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can't go wrong with that apple pie anything. And boy, they killed it with the egg roll. But wow, that was a long episode.
An hour and a half.
Hour and 26. This is a little preseason for football season,
that's exactly
Tanner.
Right. We're not in mid-season form yet.
Yeah, I coughed about 8,000 times. My apologies for that.
NFL players aren't in mid-season form. Can't expect us to be.
Yeah.
It's a process. It's a grind. We're going to get there. We promise. This is the stepping stone.
Yeah. But with that will wrap it up for episode 98 of Crunch Time with the N326 duo. Congrats. You have made it to the end of the episode, so shout out to you. Talked about a lot in this episode. Let us know what your thoughts were on that Jake Paul fight, the Orioles announcer situation. What do you think about this gambling problem in athletics? Talk about the trade deadline, the Mets, the players that surprised us being moved, our quarterback tiers. We want to hear from you what you think of that. Then we got the questions of the episode. Who had the better MLB punch? What your takes are on the NCAA realignment? What do you think about the Women's World Cup performance? What's your worst sport to watch on TV? And let us know what your favorite State Fair foods are.
You know what I just noticed?
What?
Your least favorite sport to watch on TV? MLB. Mine, combat sports. You put them together, Tim Anderson.
Oh, nice!
You put them together, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
Separately?
That's funny. But, so, let us know what you thought. Let us know on our socials. You know them. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, YouTube, at crunchtime_pod. Like, subscribe, follow, do what you got to do. Let us know if you want some merch. We got some merch. We got the hat. We got the hoodie. We're going to be coming out with new designs. We'll probably rock them next episode. If you aren't watching on YouTube, you should, because these are fire. Also, shout out Carol for designing these once again. But with that, the clock has run out on this episode, but we'll see you on the next one on Crunch Time.
I'll see you.